Hi kids, that's me again, Charles Eccles, Freedom to Rule. I got asked to discuss evolution. Evolution, you know. Apparently, there's like this huge controversy about it. Alright, do you understand how evolution actually works? Well, you know what, let's back it up like a lot. Do you know what you actually are? You are a collection of trillions of cells, all working together in perfect harmony. For example, you have blood cells, brain cells, nerve cells, liver cells, stem cells, blah, 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 blah. You are basically a collection of cells, single-cell organisms, all working together in perfect harmony. Google it. Alright. So, anyways, evolution. Now, you can actually observe evolution in your time period. In your lifetime. You can actually watch evolution as it happens. I'll give you a prime example. Labradoodles. The mix of a poodle and a Labrador. That is evolution. You combine the genes of one animal and you combine the genes of another animal and you made a new animal. That is basic evolution. It's also called generational evolution. Because that's how evolution works. It's generational. For example, a smart monkey figured out how to use a tool. And it bred with another monkey. And then they continued to use tools, and they moved off from the other monkeys. Now, the other monkeys are still there, because I've actually heard this question, well, if we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? So this is why. The smart monkey that figured out how to use tools bred with another monkey. And the smart monkey taught its children how to make tools. And they moved off over to here. But meanwhile, though, all the other monkeys are still there that never figured out tools. But they're perfectly capable of living in their environment, so they didn't need to develop tools. Meanwhile, the tool-developing monkey moved on to here. And then the monkey figured out how to make tools with tools. Google that. Anyways, another example of evolution. Generational evolution. Because again, evolution happens over generations, and because this planet, is like 3.4 to 4.2 billion years old. Billions. Which means we've had a lot of time to have generations. Alright, so anyways, let's just back it up again and just go back to the generational evolution theory. There's a reason you need a flu shot every year. Because viruses have 1 million generations compared to your one generation. Think about it. Think about it. A generation is basically how long something survives or moves on to another goal or area in its life. For example, if you're 1 to 18, that's a generation. If you're 18 to 40, that's a generation. If you're 40 to 65, that's a generation. Or something like that. You get the point. So back to what I was saying. Bacteria, they don't live that long, so they have a lot more generations that you can actually observe in your lifetime. Again, there's a reason you need a flu shot every year. Because viruses live very short lifetimes and have very quick generations. This is the same reason it's so hard to cure a disease like AIDS. And why it was so hard to cure hepatitis C, which we actually just did. In a better and simpler way. Hepatitis C. We actually just figured out a better way to cure it. But anyways, because these organisms have such a short lifespan, they get more generations and they evolve and adapt and overcome everything that we throw at it. For example, you've heard of like antibiotic resistant bacteria. It's because the generations of bacteria have evolved to overcome the antibiotics that we are giving them. Simple, easy explanation of evolution. Think about it. Evolution is basically what is strong survives. Again, back to bacteria. We got pretty good at killing bacteria, but some of those bacteria survived what we were using to kill it. Those bacteria bred with other bacteria. Actually, in bacteria, it's like they split. They don't actually breed, but you get the point. So, and then those bacteria continued to live because what we were throwing at it no longer killed it. So they survived, and they got bigger and bigger and bigger and longer and more population. And, you know, that's basic evolution. That is. All right, so let's back it way up. Well, where did life come from? I don't have any idea. I have no idea. But science has, given us some ideas about where life may have come from. For example, the Higgs boson particle, which basically says that, matter attracts itself and can actually create itself. Physics has also proved that matter moves backwards in time. So it's reasonably theoretically reasonable that if a particle is moving backwards in time and another particle is moving forwards in time, and the Higgs boson gives evidence to that particles actually attract each other, well, then it's feasible that a backwards moving in time particle would attract and hold a forward moving in time particle. Therefore, matter creates itself. Because if you think about time and paradox, it already happened, which basically means there's no such thing as a paradox, because it already happened. This basically means that if time actually is fluid and moves forward and backwards in time, then the paradox theory is completely bunked because, time moves forwards and backwards in time, so therefore everything has already happened and matter creates itself. Wow, good pot. Alright, let me wrap this up because it's 7 minutes and the average American only has about a 5 to 12 minute attention span. So to get back to evolution really fast, just to sum it up, if you want to look at proof of evolution, look at single-cell organisms, bacteria, viruses, crap like that. Evolution basically means what works continues on in the generation. What doesn't work dies off or stays stagnant, i.e. why we have humans and men, why we have humans and why we have monkeys. The monkeys were stagnant, they worked, so they stayed stagnant. Humans evolved from the better moving forward stuff that worked. It's really hard keeping this simple. So, one last time. Evolution is basically just what works keeps going, what works better keeps going, what works stays, and what doesn't work dies. Which is why you need a flu shot every year, and why it's so hard to cure HIV and hepatitis C, and where does stuff come from? If matter actually moves backwards in time and matter moves forwards in time, then matter created itself. Google it, look it up for yourself. Hopefully you have a degree in physics or something and you can help explain it to me too, but anyways, that's my video. Have a great day, kids.